All they ended up doing was trying to, as they said, try to save his life. That whole hearing proceeded from a guilty plea, and they were trying to save his life. So the whole problem of Sirhan's presence and why he was there and firing the gun goes much further back in terms of him being, how he was used as a patsy in this. We have now evidence about that, and we've been developing that.
So in your view, who was behind the assassination of Senator Robert Kennedy? I mean, if this was a conspiracy, how large a conspiracy are we talking about in your view?
Adrian, I don't know the answer to that question. We've just begun, you know, I've only become involved in this case with a hands-on way over a course of really the last year and a half. So we don't know a lot of those answers. We do know, frankly, I think we're having leads now because I have become involved in the case. People have started to come forward and share information with us that has never been available before. That's the first thing. The second thing is we do know that Bob was killed with a bullet fired from a pistol that was no more than 1 inch from the back of his right ear. Now, this was evident from Dr. Noguchi's autopsy report, but of course it's been swept aside. Bob was hit with 4 bullets were fired at him from the rear. From the rear now. 2 went through, one through the shoulder pad and one through the chest cavity that lodged in a ceiling tile that was actually behind Sirhan, where Sirhan was standing. So the senator, the shots from the senator were from behind, and the tracing of the bullets was slightly upward. So that's where the assassin was firing, and that's where he was standing behind the senator. And we have a view as to who that person was, but a good deal more probing and evidentiary work has to be done.
How might we, those of us who are interested in this, fascinated by this case, how might we stay abreast of your efforts on behalf of your client?
Well, there is going to be litigation that will be developed over the course of really even the next couple of months. Now that's going to be separate litigation that's going to be designed for the purpose of airing a lot of the new evidence. So we can certainly make you and your colleagues aware of these proceedings and therefore of the evidence that'll come out. There is a habeas petition that has to be answered, that has been pending for quite a period of time, and that finally will have to be answered on the 29th of August. So I would say over the next few months, you're going to be seeing some interesting developments in this case, and we will be trying to do a number of things with Sirhan in order to try to effectively restore his memory in a credible way so that those recollections can be introduced in a court of law.
How do you intend to restore his memory? How would you do that?
Well, there are a variety of ways that memory can be restored, and there are a number of experts, a limited number of experts in the world who are capable of doing this. I've discussed the process with 2 of them. Anyone who has had any contact with Sirhan and who has observed him, or in fact had treated him, as one psychiatrist did when he was at San Quentin, they've all uniformly agreed that he is still under hypnotic programming. He is programmed. There are ways of restoring the memory that involve putting him again under hypnosis, and also a process called, I suppose we can refer to it as cognitive restoration, which is possible through the use of some very skillful techniques. And we're in the process of working through that possibility. It's my hope that the Department of Corrections in the state of California, which itself is under a receivership, by the way, will ultimately not block us, not obstruct our efforts to try to get at the truth in this case. The early indications have not been favorable, I must say. But nevertheless, we are going to try to work as cooperatively with them as possible, and hopefully, we will be able to proceed in a professional manner and be about this task. Sirhan is in maximum security detention. If he were to be returned to a lower level security, medium level security, we would have much more access for these kinds of proceedings. I'm not willing to encourage him to do that at this point because I'm concerned about the security issues, and I frankly fear that he might be killed, and that of course ends the case. So we're having to work with him in the present situation where he finds himself, which is in a very tight maximum security facility.
Dr. Pepper, many thanks indeed.
You're welcome. Nice speaking with you, Adrian.